I absolutely love building high-end farmhouse decor all on a budget, and this video has 4 for you, so stay tuned. Hello everyone, my name is Leonette. Welcome back to DIY Beauty on Purpose. Let's get started. For this DIY, we're going to start with these random pieces of scrap wood and signs and spindles. That spindle was from a leftover table that I DIY'd something with. These are just leftover boards, and this is a Dollar Tree sign. We're all going to use them to build a little garden toolbox that could be a planter as well. So I'm going to start by taking off just these end parts of the spindle because I will not need them. I am using my miter saw, but you can certainly use a miter box with a miter saw or a hand saw, and it should be fine, but this is a little bit more of a hardwood, so I'm using my miter saw. I'm not going to take the spindle, and I am going to use it as a measurement guide to trim off some of this scrap wood that's going to eventually be the bottom of the let's call it a toolbox, the bottom of a toolbox. And so I want everything to be the same size. And then I'm going to use this part and cut 2 pieces of this 1x3 that I had here at home already. And if you see the lights going in and out, guys, it's because my light is a censored light in the garage and it keeps going on and off. So don't mind the lighting. But anyways, I'm going to cut 2 of these. All right, so now I'm going to remove everything from this sign, including that part, the part that's kind of peeling. It's so much easier to peel it off than to paint or to sand off the glitter and paint over it. So much easier. Now I'm going to use the piece of scrap wood here that's going to be the bottom of the toolbox as a guide to know how wide I am going to cut, because I'm going to use this sign to make 2 sides for the toolbox. So I'm just going to score it using my blade knife, and then I am going to just pretty much break it off and then sand it down so that it is smooth, and I'm going to make 2 of these.
Take a step into the river, get down on your knees, come to the mountain while taking in the view.
And here I'm just marking 5 inches into each board, and that way I have a guide on because I'm going to cut angles on each side, and that way I know where to cut. And then I am going to use the spindle to use as a guide to know kind of where the center will be, and then where I want to start that angle cut. I am now going to sand just lightly everything so it's nicely smooth, and then we can start building things and putting things together. I'm going to use wood glue as well as brad nails to put this toolbox together. So I am just going to place of course, the bottom part right on the bottom, and then I'm going to place wood glue on each side, and that's where the 1x3s are going to go. And then I'm going to secure them using 1/2 inch brad nails and my Ryobi brad nails. Now brad nailer. I know not everyone is used to working with power tools. I highly recommend them as long as it's safe and you can afford them. The Ryobi brands are not that expensive, and what I like about them is just you can make so many things very inexpensively, and it makes life a lot easier. But it's not necessary. You can certainly use a nail and hammer and it'll get the job done. Now I'm going to use more wood glue and the same brad nails, and I'm going to place the sides on each side.
You're broken and you're shattered at the point of no return.
And of course, if you are going to be using power tools, always be safe. Read all instructions and safety guidelines and wear safety gear as needed.
You pick up the pieces and you let the bridges burn. So come to the water.
So you can see how the toolbox is coming together. Now I'm going to place this spindle right on top and again secure it with wood glue and brad nails.
Sailing with the breeze, take a step into the river, where you will find peace. Where you go through the storm, I will hold you, keep.
And now everything's going to come together when I give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white.
When you stay in the night, I will shelter, I will fight. Oh, yeah. I will fight. When you go through the storm, I will hold you, keep you warm. When you stay in the night, I will shelter, I will fight, I will fight. I will fight.
After everything was dry, I'm going to lightly sand off just a little bit of the edges. That way it'll have a little bit more of a farmhouse look. And then I am going to dust it off really, really well and add a decal that I created using my Cricut. That's just says garden. That way it can be used either as a planter for the garden or it can be used indoors too with some faux florals. But either way, I think it would look super, super cute.
So come to the water, where you will find peace.
I'm going to add some of these faux grassy florals that I get on Amazon. I already had them on hand. And some sunflowers from the Dollar General. I already used them for another DIY and I had these left over. So I'm just going to place them right in. And I think this planter toolbox turned out absolutely adorable. I love the way it turned out. That spindle just literally makes this planter. I love it.
I will fight. So come to the water, where you will find peace. Take a step into the river and get down on your knees.
All right, so for this next DIY, I'm going to take more of those, or that 1x3 that I used earlier. I cut 4 pieces. 2 of them are about 12 inches, maybe 14. I really didn't measure that much. And then the other one is about 18 to 20 inches, something like that. But I am going to make a full little window here. So I sanded them down and then I am staining them using the chalked antiquing wax. It's like a glaze, and this is like their gray tone. So it just gives it a very antique-ish, kind of grayish tone, and I really like it. Once it was dry, I am going to put things together, just like you see here, and I am going to use, again, wood glue, but this time I'm going to use some staples. That way it gives you an option if you want to recreate this at home. Most of you, I know, have staplers. If you have a heavier duty, like more industrial stapler, it works even better. I'm just going to literally staple in each seam. And I'm going to do this on each side, each end, as well as the edges.
I would be up waiting for you if you had to leave. I would wait a lifetime if you were at sea. I just wanna say that I feel that our love is real. Maybe we should hurry up and seal the deal. Oh, oh, I just wanna love you right. Oh, oh, love you till the end of time.
Now I am going to take this wreath from the Target dollar spot. It was only $3 and I think it's stunning. I'm going to remove everything from it. I'm just going to add a few little florals here from the Dollar Tree just to fill it up and add a little bit more of that white tone that I love. I'm not going to add a lot of hot glue, because I don't want it to to drip. You know, I want it to be, it doesn't need much hot glue, but I just don't want a lot of hot glue showing. So I did thread through the leaves from the wreath in and out of the florals. That way it just hides any glue that may be seen. And that way it's just smoother and it just looks nicer. And once I had that done, I am now going to place some ribbon from the Dollar General, and I am going to just place a very small amount, and I'm going to just loop it around. Then I'm going to flip it over, and you're going to see here in a minute. I'm going to staple it kind of like upside down, so when it flips over to the right side, it's hiding those staples, and you'll see what I'm talking about here. And just like that. And you can add a claw hook on the back, but this time I didn't need it because you just hang it right behind there. The ribbon will cover the nail. But look how beautiful this looks. It looks so high-end. I think you can find something like this literally at any store, and I just love the way it turned out for only a few dollars. The 1x3, guys, is only about $4, and the wreath was $3. I mean, think about it. That's so inexpensive. My friends, don't forget that March's giveaway is a crafting heat gun. So all you have to do to enter is watch and comment. Any comments made in March of 2021 will be entered to win this giveaway. All right, so I am going to take this thrifted sign. It's like a wall decor. I recently updated the other half of it. It was actually a set of 2, and I did something completely different. If you haven't watched that video, I'll have it linked down in the description box. And I'm just going to give this one several coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white, going in all different directions. That way, it'll have like texture to it. Once it was dry, I'm going to mark where I want to start making some lines because I want this sign to look like it's faux shiplap. I am now going to sand off just the edges just to give it a little bit more of a farmhouse look, as well as the center, but very lightly in the center, just to kind of lighten up those stripes. Using my Cricut, I cut out the word home, and I'm going to place it vertically here on the right side of the sign. And once it's on there, guys, we're done. This one turned out so, how do I call it? It's like a very modern farmhouse. I love the way it looks. It's very crisp and so heavy duty. This picture is just beautiful. I love the way it turned out, and I think it would look like it would be in a high-end store. All right, guys, so this next DIY, I'm going to take this lamp that broke and we were going to throw it away. And my husband's like, no, you can do something with it. So here I am. I'm trying to remove the light portion of it, and just this lamp gave me such a hard time, guys. My husband ended up having to help me remove it. And then I was going to make a candle pillar holder, and plans didn't work out. So I ended up with a second plan, or plan B, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. So the top portion could not be reattached. So I'm just going to keep the base, and I'm going to take this Dollar Tree platter, and I am just going to E6000 it, as well as hot glue it to the top. And then I'm going to take it outside and spray paint it in a cinnamon satin spray pen from Rust-Oleum. I want this to look, well, originally, I wanted it to look like it was a terracotta kind of stand or planter. And guys, you're going to see here in a minute, but I'm going to show you every step so you know that it doesn't always work out the way we want. It was extremely windy this day. It was warm here in Ohio, but it was windy. So my planter flew away. We had to run after it. It was still tacky and it had grass all over, and my son helped me find it. But nonetheless, I thought it was ruined, and I was like, what can I do to make this better? And it was too windy to keep it outside and try to fix it. So I took it inside after it was dry, and now I'm going to sand off some of the dirt and grass that got on it. It looks better on the camera, but it actually was really bad. So I decided to just, again, glue it to the base, and this time I am going to give it 2 coats of Dixie Belle paint in the Kutsul green, which is a beautiful green tone. To add a little bit of dimension and more of a distressed look, I'm just going to antique it a little bit using Waverly Antiquing Wax. And I'm just going to focus on the kind of like the seams, the edges, and a little bit here and there on the inside as well, wiping off any excess just to kind of mute it down and making it look a little bit more softer. And after that is done, I'm done. I am just going to place some Dollar Tree florals right on top. And I think in the end, it turned out so adorable. I wish it would have stayed in that terracotta cinnamon tone. But you know what? Things don't always work out, and that's okay. So this is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gives you inspiration. I hope it inspires you to create your own home decor and save a lot of money. If you're visiting for the first time, I hope you consider subscribing and joining our YouTube family. And if you are returning, as always, thank you so much for coming back. Guys, don't forget to comment down and let me know, I don't know, which one is your favorite or which one was a surprise to you. Whatever you'd like to comment to be entered in the giveaway. I have a playlist here with tons more of inspiration for you. Check it out, and I'll see you later, guys. Have a blessed day. Bye.